the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I want to start by welcoming our guests of honor, the 185 candidates for United States citizenship who have come from 18 countries and who have waited and waited and waited for this day to come. This is one of the most important days of your life, and I'm delighted to be able to be even a small part of it. Although we're in a convention center and not a courthouse, this is a court proceeding. But unlike most court proceedings, this one is a happy and joyous occasion. This is, I counted, the 12th naturalization ceremony that I have been a part of. And I will confess now in public to all of you that these 12 days are among the most emotional days of my own life. And for the longest time, I couldn't figure out why that is, because after all, I was born right here in New Mexico.
Sandra Solis, and I'm immigrating from Mexico. Yes, my parents immigrated long before. I was probably around 5 years old when they immigrated, and I came along with them. We were here in Las Cruces because we located in a small town called La Mesa, down south. And since then, we stayed in Las Cruces. The process wasn't long. It was about 3 months from June, probably 3 months, maybe 4, close to 4 months. But it wasn't hard at all. It was very smooth, very easy. The response, getting back on my letters in the mail were pretty fast.
But when I see the pride and patriotism on your faces that you have in your new country, and when I see on your faces the relief and joy that this endurance test is finally over, it reminds me not to take my American citizenship for granted, but instead to cherish it as the God-given blessing that it is. And so I thank each of you for that gentle reminder.
I am Kevin Oñate, and I'm coming from Ciudad Juárez, Mexico. I came here because of my family. We were looking for a better life, and we don't live in Las Cruces, we live in Salem Park. We moved around 8 years ago when I was 8, so that would be around 2008, 2009. In Ciudad Juárez, there was a lot of violence at that point, so we decided that moving over here would give us a sense of security. The process was really long. I didn't get my residence until I was 13 years old, so in 2013, and this is 2019, and I'm barely becoming a citizen.
If in 2019 all you did was watch the nightly news, or read the newspaper, or spend time online, you might begin to wonder whether on the topic of immigration, we as a nation are more divided than we are united. We are debating in this country, in Washington, D.C., and in many places across the country, issues in immigration like, should the southwest border be more open or more secure? Should our asylum laws change? What should, if anything, we do with those people in our country whose presence is at least technically in violation of our nation's laws? And whether the manner in which we treat immigrants in our custody is humane enough.
I am constantly and every day trying to do my best for my children. I'm here for my children, and I want them to do good, and I'm constantly having to redirect them with what they hear in the news from president's elections and what's going on with the presidential elections. For a while there, they were worried that I was going to be sent to Mexico and they would have to stay here. That was a concern for them, but that's what pushed me more to do my citizenship, to not have that worry that I might be sent because they're citizens, but that I might be sent back to Mexico and they would have to stay here.
Those debates are taking place right now, and the voices in those debates are passionate and they're spirited and they're often confrontational. And so I think a ceremony like this one comes at a particularly good time, because a ceremony like this reminds us of all that is good in this country. And it reminds us that no matter what our problems are, no matter what's dominating the national news, no matter what challenges we as a nation have to overcome, the United States of America is still the best country on earth, and we all agree on that. The-
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today we have 185 applicants for naturalization representing 18 countries. With your permission, I will introduce the applicants by country.
Please proceed.
When I call your country, please rise and remain standing. India, Iran, Iraq, Kenya, Philippines,
So I would ask at this time, to the extent that you are able to, please, for those taking the standard oath, please stand and raise your right hand. And in a voice that shows how proud you are to become United States citizens, I want you to repeat after me. I hereby declare on oath.
Your Honor, one applicant has requested a modified oath due to his religious beliefs.
That I will support and defend
That I will support and defend.
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America.
As a Jehovah's Witness, we do not bear arms, and we are trying to, it's our own religion. That's the good thing about America, that they allowed us to freely express our religion, regardless of where we come from. And that I take this obligation freely,
Without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
Thank you, sir.
Would each of you please raise your right hand?
We have a tradition in our court of allowing any of our judges, whether they're presiding or not, to administer the oath of citizenship to people who happen to be their friends. And Chief Judge Garza is very good friends with both Ms. Gupta and Dr. Lahiri, both of whom are originally from India, and Judge Garza will administer the oath of citizenship to them at this time.
This is a wonderful day. We are here for a memorable and life-changing ceremony for all of you here. This is a day in which all the steps you took to become part of this country culminate with you as citizens of the United States of America. You are from 18 countries, but today you are from one. I had the privilege of being part of a ceremony just like this one 8.5 years ago. And I remember that particular day as if it were yesterday.
I took it very personal. Because I've overcome a lot of challenges. And it has meant a lot to me, being able to be part of this.
We all took different paths getting here. Some came for work, some came for school, some came for family. But the common denominator is that we all came to build a better life for ourselves and for our loved ones. We all came and stayed for the opportunities, for a better present and a better future. But always keep in mind that the stories of each and every one here are what make us diverse. And it is precisely that diversity that makes us strong as a community and as a country. Once I came here, I could no longer use my profession. So I had to reinvent myself and find a new career path, starting over again. I decided to become an interpreter and a translator, utilizing my skills in the courts where my legal knowledge was one of my strengths.
I want to work in a governmental office and be able to make governmental decisions. And more than anything, help the public, the community.
I'm starting to become a nurse. It'll certainly make everything easier for school. I believe that transactions and everything would become a lot easier because I won't have to go through so many filings to show that I'm a resident, because now I'm an American.
From this day on, you too have a new challenge. To be the best parent, the best brother or sister, the best spouse, the best investor or employee. To be the best version of yourself, whatever it may be. We are in a country where hard work pays off, and where we can always start over again. This is one of our greatest blessings. This is one of our greatest strengths. It is really important to follow the laws, but also to engage in our communities and to speak for what you believe in. Remember to vote. It is your right, but also that you now have the responsibility of speaking up for the ones who cannot, or those who are too afraid to speak for themselves.
No, I'm not planning to register to vote today. I am a Jehovah's Witness, and I try to stay as neutral as possible.
Definitely. Yes, I want to vote. I want to start making decisions for our country now. Because my vote can count now. My words, my thoughts can now mean something. And my children can grow into a better world, in a better community here locally in the state of New Mexico, within the community here in Las Cruces, but also they have the opportunity to grow, and I'm going to be part of their decisions. I'm going to be there to direct them for their future, for decisions within the public schools, within our votings here.
Finally, I just want to share with you what recently somebody asked me. Somebody asked me one day, if a day came when you had to choose between going back to your country of origin or staying in this, your new adoptive country, which would you choose? I won't lie to you. I had to think hard and strong before I made that choice. But today, I can proudly say that I would choose this country all over again, just as it chose me 8.5 years ago, just as it is now choosing you. Congratulations and welcome.